like, I'm forever the optimist, so I hate to say it out loud, but like, dinner might be broken, and how can we fix it?
You know
Right?
what's broken? The fact that we have only talked about meals with our kids. What about meals? Because that's different. That's a different vibe.
Very
is when
different.
you're eating without your kids.
I've recently had a night alone where I cooked for myself and I appreciated what was on the plate. And I made sure I used a dish and I actually took a picture of it, maybe even a video, because I couldn't believe that I made this for myself and I was going to sit down and enjoy it. And honestly, I feel like if we're happy, then our families are happy. So yes, amen. Fixing mealtime means include the kiddos more in meal decision making. So instead of letting them know this is what we're having, putting more of a question to what would you like to have today?
So that also makes me think, just thinking about if we're happy, our families are happy, and the chaos of it all is something we've kind of touched on, but not a lot. When it comes to mealtime, I think the biggest thing parents need is help. Whether that's food delivery service, friends who can drop stuff off, freezer meals, like it all counts, and help around mealtime, I feel like is just so huge. Because sometimes it's literally a question of like, can I make this happen?
I think it all ties back to preparation. And I know meal prep is such a hot topic, but it's like you'd think we'd have it down by now, but there's so many other things that take precedence over that. And then all of a sudden it's mealtime and you're like, what do I have? What do I plan? And that's where I think it gets away from us. Fixing mealtime means something as simple as one night. Just getting one night where me and my kids sit down together, uninterrupted, no electronics, no TV on, and just taking that one night and hopefully growing it into many more.
Food is such a joyful, awesome thing that I love, and I was becoming super resentful about having to try to like orchestrate this thing. So it released that pressure, and then over time, like kids are curious, and then eventually like even my little one who would only eat pasta or whatever, all of a sudden, like one day she's trying something that's been on the plate because it took maybe, I don't know, 100 presentations, but she started finally eating it. I think a big part of fixing mealtime is letting go of perfection and any sort of preconceived notions about what it should be. There is no one way to do mealtime. So I just feel like parents need to take the pressure off themselves about actually getting the food in. They will get there eventually. Again, like think of it as a weak landscape, you know, across which you hope to get a good balance in, and just like relax a little bit.
Yeah, and what are you capable of cooking? We all have different talents in the kitchen, and that mine isn't with the sauces and the spices and the flavorings. Mine's more like I've got an archive of things that I'm equipped to make or not.
Yeah. I just wanted to say for that flexibility element that we've taken an approach, if you don't like what's on the menu, like go help yourself and get something. And, you know, my kids are older, but they can get themselves meals and make themselves things, and that is like cue angels singing.
Like a piece of it is teaching kids what food does.
Yeah.
Protein, well, it helps you build strong muscles. Carbohydrates, that's gonna give you energy for lacrosse practice. Antioxidants, that helps fight free radicals. Like teaching them that food is more than good or bad. What does it mean to fix mealtime? To me, it means different things at different time. It just means creating that space to be able to come together and share a meal, whether that is breakfast, lunch, dinner, or a snack. 3 of my girlfriends and all of our kids, our husbands were away or doing something, and we all got together and we cooked with the kids, and it was so magical. Like the couscous salad actually tasted better, and we decided to create this little recipe binder that whenever we decided we're gonna get together as regularly as possible and just add to this binder of our Sunday Fun Day recipes.
I have a binder too, and I love it. It's like full of old school clippings from newspapers and magazines from like decades ago. And my kids, we just call it the binder. And they know that, you know, when I'm ashes, they are gonna like inherit the binder, and they're pumped because all the best stuff is in there.
Now, I think I can speak for like the single parents. I think we had the vision of like being in the kitchen with our partner. Oh, I'm gonna get emotional, okay. So I had the vision of like being in the kitchen, you know, like with a partner and not doing it alone. I think that's kind of what I can put out there is like, you have to find new ways of having fun with your kids when you're doing it alone.
I also sometimes, you know, want like more of a simplistic meal because then it's like more time to like be together. To me, fixing mealtime means, I would probably say just being able to have like more quality time together. So taking away from like all of the prep things and like the afters and just like focusing on the core meal.
Okay, so I just wanted to address the meal planning situation again because I feel like it can be a dichotomous thing, whereas people either figure I can't do this at all or I need to plan out every day. And we in our house, we just identify like 1 or 2 anchors for the week. That's it. And then just assume there's going to be leftover night, maybe a takeout night, freezer food night, and it just takes the pressure off a lot. I just find that if I prep a few things, you know, whether it's like roasting a tray of vegetables or putting on a pot of brown rice because #Asian, like it sets me up to have enough basics to like make tacos or add, you know, chicken tenders or the salmon cakes, which I'm obsessed with.
So your wife, Kate, is a coach. Does that mean she's not always home for dinner?
Yeah, not always. Or like sometimes she's coming home later, and so I'll try to like prep like the veggies, and that's like, I feel like I've like actually like done something then. I'm like, I chopped the onions, okay?
Now you're chopping onions, doing the prep.
Right.
I have a feeling that your kids aren't on devices. You're not policing devices yet, but do you have like a policy with like your spouses, like no cell phones, no TV on during dinner?
We try to do that. Like Kate will sometimes like, you know, be on her phone or she'll like try to call me out. So like we try to just like not even bring them to the table because then Gray wants to like shop Amazon or something like during dinner. But we have used the TV as like a method to get him to eat sometimes.
Yeah, I feel like for me it's kind of like the distractions sometimes actually help the mealtime in a weird way. Like my daughter Sunday is 3 and she'll sometimes like bring little toys she wants to play with, like while we're eating dinner or whatever. And I'm like, you know what? If that's gonna keep you sitting up here and help you eat, great. And sometimes it's a little teacup and then she wants like a little drink in her teacup. And I'm like, all right, whatever, it works. Like, let's just go with it.
My boys have their iPads, and I'm guilty of sometimes being on my phone. So we have a basket, a tech basket, that all the devices get loaded into the tech basket and it's a tech-free zone.
So I find that one thing we will often do, it's very similar to the handhold actually, is if we've had some chaotic interruption, we'll just all like exhale and then like return to conversation or whatever it was we talked about.
Right. I'm like, do you diffuse essential oils through your meals? I'm just like.
But it's just that like those tiny little pauses are so important and they do help like, and sure, it'll probably be chaotic again in 5 minutes, but it helps in the moment.
And can we have a potluck? I want more potluck. That's what I will say. It was the best takeaway for me. I want more potluck. I want to have friends over and I want to cook together. That's what I want to do.
For your welcome planet, we have just fixed dinner. We've solved all of the world's problems at this little round table.